What's going on, football lovers? Welcome back to the channel, and this is another video for you football lovers, and we're going to predict the Premier League matchday 5. That's right, the Premier League is back this weekend, and we're going to predict. This is going to be a tasty one to predict because we've had European football, UEFA Champions League this week, and then we have UEFA Europa League and maybe Conference League next week. So I believe both of the competitions have impacts on how the approach to games is going to be for this weekend, because somehow the teams that are in the Europa League, they have to consider that Europa League, and also they should not rule out the Premier League, their Premier League matches. So it's going to be a very tasty one to see how managers are going to approach this game. And for the ones that have already played UEFA Champions League this week, also it's going to have a very, very big impact in their weekend games. So straight into the action. Liverpool, they host their rivals Everton at Anfield. Everton, the new stadium, but this time they're going to start it at Anfield. This is a game that normally Everton, of course, in terms of superiority, is nowhere near Liverpool, but it's normally a derby that always has it all. It brings all the pressure. And Liverpool, it's never an easy game against Everton. We've seen it both of the games in either stadiums, rather at the Anfield or at Everton. It's normally full of pressure. And Liverpool, the fact that they are coming from that dramatic game yesterday night against Atletico Madrid, where they've won it late, the second consecutive time they've scored a late goal after Salah's penalty at Burnley, against Burnley, also in the dying minutes of the game. Yesterday night, Van Dijk's free kick from Szoboszlai's corner in the dying minutes of the game won it for Liverpool. And so they're moving into this, I believe they're moving into the game against Everton in the mood to win, very confident. They're doing so much interesting things under Ancelotti. They've made some interesting signings. I mean, Florian Wirtz yet to open his account in the Premier League. Isak, they've put in Isak in the number 9. They have Salah as always. Frimpong is back from injury. They have Szoboszlai. Liverpool are going to be dangerous, because let me tell you one thing. I was watching that Liverpool game against Atletico Madrid yesterday night, and the link between Salah, Isak, Szoboszlai, Wirtz is going to be out of this world. Gakpo, out wide, it's going to be out of this world. And so, but Everton also, they're doing some good work under Moyes. Grealish is arriving there and is linking very well with those Everton players. But I still believe this is going to be a good game, and I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Brighton host Tottenham. Tottenham, they've played Villarreal earlier, the first day of the match day, in their return in the UEFA Champions League. They won it by 1-0. Although it was an own goal, but they dominated the game. Brighton, on the other hand, they don't have European football. They've not played any game this week. Their last game was a 2-1 loss to Bournemouth. So Brighton are having lost their last game. They're welcoming Tottenham, that has played a game in midweek, the UEFA Champions League. So definitely they're going to want to have a better performance, and they're going to use this opportunity to play a fatigued Tottenham, because they've been resting the full week. They've lost their previous game in the Premier League. They're welcoming Tottenham, a weak Tottenham, but that doesn't mean they're going to win that game. I mean, Tottenham under Thomas Frank, very good defensive structure, tactics, Mohamed Kudus, Richarlison, Solanke, you name it all. 1-1 draw, Tottenham and Brighton. Man United host Chelsea. Embarrassment in the Manchester derby for Man United last weekend. They don't have European football, so definitely they're just going to be playing during the weekends. They host a weak, wounded Chelsea that are coming from a defeat in Munich, 3-1 defeat. Goals that were full of errors as a result of errors, goals that they never should have conceded. And now they're going to Old Trafford fully wounded, and they're going to make it right. They're going to settle all their debts at Old Trafford, and they're going to make Man United's life hard. Let me tell you one thing, Chelsea fans. You know, I'm a Man United fan, and welcome. We are going to welcome you in the best way possible. The fact that we lost to Manchester City over the weekend doesn't mean that we are going to lose to Chelsea. We are going to demolish you, and we are going to use this opportunity that you are weak, you have played. There's no way we are going to play only during the weekends. You've played yesterday night, and then you come to Old Trafford, and then you you win, or you get a point. It's not possible. You expect to get good result at Old Trafford in that mood, then you're sick in the head. So Man United are going to win this game by 2-1. Burnley versus Forest. I've predicted a 1-0 win to Forest. Anges Postecoglou is yet to open his account, his first 3 points as a new Forest boss. They were 2-0 up against Swansea in their game, the Carabao Cup, and then they lost 3-0. Pressure for Postecoglou. But I think they're going to get their season underway. He's going to start if they get his first 3 points this weekend as they travel to Burnley. 1-0 Forest. Palace and West Ham have gone for a 2-1 win to Palace. West Ham, they were defeated with a red card by Tottenham 3-0 last weekend. Palace, on the other hand, they had a goalless draw with Sunderland. And so I think even with the fact that they lost Eze, Palace still have it to cause a lot of trouble for West Ham. Won for a 2-1 win to Palace. Wolves versus Leeds. Wolves have been defeated in their last game by Newcastle 1-0. Leeds, on the other hand, they are coming from a defeat at Fulham. So I think they're just going to... Wolves are very weak this season. I mean, if they're not keen, they might get relegated, or they'll finish very, very low in the Premier League table, number 16. So Leeds are going to win the game by 2-1, because these newly promoted teams, they've shown to us that they can compete, they can cause a lot of trouble for the Premier League teams. Leeds are going to win it by 2-1. Fulham versus Brentford has gone for a 2-2 draw, because Fulham, they've won their last game against Leeds. Brentford, on the other hand, they are coming from 2-2 draw as they hosted Chelsea. They scored a very, very late goal to make it a 2-2 draw, to get a point from that game, with Cole Palmer's return from injury and scored immediate impact. Unfortunately, I think they're still going to draw again, consecutive draws, because Fulham, Marco Silva is very tactical, and we're going to cause a lot of trouble for them. Sunday football, Sunderland versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa are very weak this season. I don't know what's wrong with that. They have Sancho, they have Unai Emery, they have Martinez. They got eliminated from the Carabao Cup at extra time and then on penalties by Brentford. And Unai Emery, they are yet to score a goal in the Premier League. I mean, Sunderland, on the other hand, of course, 0-0 draw, a goalless draw with Palace. I think Aston Villa are just going to start their journey back to where they're supposed to be, and they're going to win it by 2-1. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Bournemouth, Androni Iraola is the manager, the beast. And then Newcastle also, you shouldn't rule them out. I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Then the biggest game of the match day, Arsenal versus Manchester City. Arsenal, arguably the best team with the best defense in Europe right now. They don't concede a goal easily. They don't concede a goal from open play. The only goal they've conceded this season was that free kick, that wonderful Szoboszlai's free kick. Other than that, they don't concede a goal from open play, and they host Manchester City. Manchester City have beat Man United in their last game 3-0. Like we always said, we said it, Manchester United is not the team that can assess this Manchester City in the right way. Because Manchester City, believe you me, they aren't back. The fact that they beat Man United 3-0 does not mean they're back. Arsenal is going to be the real exam, because Arsenal, they just don't concede. And the fact that Manchester City and Arsenal, their previous meeting, ended in a 5-1 win thrashing by Arsenal. You know, Mikel Arteta beating his old boss, the teacher, a student beating the teacher by 5 goals to 1. We're going to see a repeat on that, and I believe Arsenal are still going to cause chaos for Man City. Who knows? Maybe Arsenal are going to concede their first goal from open play, but they're going to take the 3 points. Arsenal 3, Man City 1. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video.